Alright, good morning, Mishpaha. Well, hopefully this is working now. Guess we'll see here in a second. People start popping on and just... Alright, William and Michelle. Oh, hey, William. Lachamet. Yeah, that's not Hebrew. I wonder how trying to pronounce your last name. Lachamé? Is that right? Sandy Butler, good morning. So, are you guys seeing me okay? Am I, is this working? Are we back to a working John Knight? Good morning. You guys give me a thumbs up if everything seems to be going okay. Susan Smith, I know the last couple of days Facebook was all glitchy. Better? Alright, so we all good to go, folks? There's one thumbs up. Alright, well, I'm getting people popping up, and that's more than what would work yesterday, so we'll run with it. Teresa, good morning. Okay, well, today would be Psalm 119, but I'm actually I think it's kind of ended up being a blessing that it didn't happen today, because the company I work for, I'm off the next 2 days. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, my time. Awesome, praise Yah. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be doing Psalm 119 at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're going to make it like a morning sermon kind of thing, because, you know, this morning I would have started at 5:45 a.m. 15 minutes ago, and I would have focused on just reading the whole chapter, and because of how long it is, and that's probably would have been about it. So tomorrow morning I'm going to read the chapter, and throughout the chapter touch on certain things and kind of make it like a sermon psalm reading tomorrow. So I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to the Psalm 119, and so have I. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that said, let's get into this. So Psalm 118. Oh, give thanks to Yehovah, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Let Yisrael now say, his mercy endures forever. Let the house of Aharon now say, his mercy endures forever. Let those who fear Yehovah now say, his mercy endures forever. I called on Yehovah in distress. Yehovah answered me and set me in a broad place. Yehovah is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me? Yehovah is for me among those who help me. Therefore I shall see my desire on those who hate me. It is better to trust in Yehovah than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in Yehovah than to put confidence in princes. All nations surrounded me, but in the name of Yehovah I will destroy them. They surrounded me, yes, they surrounded me, but in the name of Yehovah I will destroy them. They surrounded me like bees, they were quenched like a fire of thorns. For in the name of Yehovah I will destroy them. You punished me violently that I might fall, but Yehovah helped me. Yehovah is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tents of the righteous. The right hand of Yehovah does valiantly. The right hand of Yehovah is exalted. The right hand of Yehovah does valiantly. I shall not die but live, and declare the works of the Lord. Yehovah has chastened me severely, but he has not given me over to death. Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will go through them, and I will praise Yehovah. This is the gate of Yehovah, through which the righteous shall enter. I will praise you, for you have answered me, and have become my salvation. The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This was Yehovah's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day of Yehovah. This is the day Yehovah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Save now, I pray, O Yehovah. O Yehovah, I pray, send now prosperity. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Yehovah. We have blessed you from the house of Yehovah. Elohim is Yehovah, and he has given us light. Blind the sacrifice with cords to the horns of the altar. You are my Elohim, and I will praise you. You are my Elohim, and I will exalt you. O give thanks to Yehovah, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Amen. And Mishpachah, you know, in so many ways, and this is the promise that we have, is that when we walk and we honor Yehovah in our walk, and he talks about, and the righteous shall find their place in the house of Yehovah. The righteous he shall have mercy on, and you know, there's such an argument that between the church and, for the sake of argument, Torah keepers, is that they assume that we're seeking righteousness by our own means. And no matter what we do, no matter the works that we do, we are not made righteous by our works. We know this. We know that we're made righteous by Yah straight across the board, plain and simple. But part of how he makes us righteous is our obedience. So it's our effort to honor him, to obey him, which causes him to bless us and make us righteous and holy before him. Because we can never truly, on our own, if I was to be like, okay, God, you go sit down, I'll become righteous on my own, by my own strength, by my own wisdom. Never going to happen. But when we seek him and we're like, okay, I'm going to do this your way. I want to follow you. I will obey your commandments. I will do all of this. It is by the things that we obey. It is by the direction and the rules of the house, so to speak. It is by those things that make us righteous in him through the obedience of him, of what he says to do. And when you break it all down, it is still all by him that I am saved, that I am righteous, that I am holy, and all of these things, and that I am found without spot and blemish. It will be by him and him alone. And that's what they don't grasp. They get caught in what has been ingrained in us of, they look at a verse that says that the word says if you break one of these commandments, you've transgressed all the law. Oh, okay. And that's where they stop. They don't go any further with the sentence. And it's like, okay. And what's your point? And then they look at you like a deer in the headlights. Or they're like, well, see, it's impossible. And it's like, I'm sorry, where does it say in there that it's impossible to keep all the word? It just says if you break one, you break them all, because when you sin against Yehovah. And that is what points to sin. The commandments and everything else is what reveals sin, and we know to keep from sinning by obeying what the commandments say. But so if I break a commandment, what? Do I stop trying? So let's just break all the commandments by not doing anything, right? Let's not keep Sabbath. Let's not walk in his 10 commandments. Let's not keep his Moedim. Let's just break it all the way across the board and really bring damnation down on our head. That's the ticket. But no, I mean, all this stuff we have to understand. And that's what I was pleading with you all the other day of where we need to be our mentality, our spiritual mindset, everything. We've got to get rid of this aggressiveness towards those in the church or any other religion for that matter. But mostly those in the church. And the reason why I say Christians, I'm not saying Christians, because if you look up the true meaning of Christian, is someone who is Christ-like. Well, Christ kept Shabbat. Christ kept the commandments. He kept Torah. So anybody who claims to be a Christian, if they don't keep Torah, they're actually claiming to be something they're not. But that's just my own thing. Anyways, my point is those who are in the church who, like any of us, they've been taught these things, they have walked in these things, and they've walked in these ways of being taught that it's impossible to keep the commandments, and that Yeshua came and brought a brand new covenant and did away with all of this stuff, and they declared a bondage and everything else are archaic, and they don't realize Yeshua's the one who gave us all of that in the beginning. So they're declaring that he came and did away with his own stuff that all comes from the Father anyways. And then also one of the things I love to say is they stand on the verse of, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I say, okay, so you can keep the law then, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. No, we can't do that. And I'm like, okay, now there's limitations about what we can do through Messiah who strengthens us. We need to be more compassionate, Mishpachah. We need to show them the mercy that Yah shows us. If we understand mercy, if you understand his mercy, then show that mercy to them. Now, granted, there are those who are just flat out dead set against. You get preachers like Creflo Dollar and stuff like that who purposely preach against Torah, who preach it like he despises it. I mean, I listened to 2 sermons that he did in the past 2 years. One, he declares in the sermon, I watched the whole sermon to make sure it wasn't taken out of context. He says, we do not have to keep even the Big Ten. He said that like 3 times in that sermon. And then the sermon about a year ago, he preached in that one, and he said Satan is the one who tries to get us to keep the law so that we will sin against God. And I just about fell out of my chair. And I watched the whole sermon to make sure I didn't take that out of context. When you got people who come like that, it's time to dust your sandals off and walk away. Because you're just wasting your time. Now, I mean, you want to take the opportunity to try to plant a seed? Then do it. That's our job. But Mishpachah, we have to understand this too. We are not the one who's going to convince somebody else. That's not our job to do. And it's not our job to try to prove them wrong and us right. And there's so much of that mentality in the Hebrew roots and Messianic movement, which I am not a part of. I'm only what Scripture calls me, a bondservant of Messiah, a follower of the way, a child of the Most High. A lot of these Hebrew roots Messianic are causing people to go back to the church because they're being attacked and tore apart so bad. No mercy is being shown them. They're showing no love. There's so much arrogance and pride and haughtiness going on, and they're bashing these guys. These people are like, I didn't come out of the church for this. There's no way that this can be right, because these people are mean, they're hateful, they're vicious. And they want to debate only to prove each other wrong. They're not trying to defend the faith. They're trying to defend what they think they know. And that ain't mercy. Look, Mishpachah, I'll tell you this. I'm going to have a discussion with a 30-year Baptist pastor next week. 30 or 40 years. He's in his 60s. He's been a Baptist pastor. I'm not going to say his name or nothing. He is willing. He is dead set against the law. But him and I have talked, and he is willing for him and I to have a gentleman's discussion, a gentleman type debate about the word. And my prayer is every day, Father, I do not want to try to prove this man wrong. I want this man to see the truth of your word. I want him to see your truth, not try to show him I'm right, you're wrong, I'm smart, you're dumb. And that whole mentality's got to stop. It's got to stop, people. We need to show the mercy that Yah shows us in this chapter to them. We need to show that mercy. Why in the world would Yah show us mercy if we can't show them mercy? That doesn't make any sense. And so, by Yah's grace, by His blessing, by His favor, my whole intention, I am not going into this debate with this guy thinking that I'm going to change him, save him, or anything else. I'm going into this thing believing that Yah is going to speak through me and speak through him, and that Satan's not going to be allowed to speak through either one of us. And that we're going to go and get into the Word, and that the truth is going to blossom out like a beautiful flower in front of both of us. That's what I'm believing. I'm believing Yah's going to sit there and show us both His truth. That's what I'm believing for. And that's why I believe that it will be blessed, and I believe that Yah will show favor. And I believe that if I have anything wrong, that Yah is going to let me see it, and it's going to be revealed to me. And if this guy's got any, and what this guy has wrong, that Yah is going to reveal it to him, and he's going to have eyes to see and a heart that is receptive. Nobody is too old, too far, too deep into something that they can't be reached. And as long as somebody's got a willingness and patience and show love and mercy, then Yah will bless the fruit of our lips. And He says, if you keep my commandments and you do what I tell you to do, and you walk in my ways, I will bless what you put your hand to do. Well, so I am believing that Yah is going to bless what I'm putting my hands to do with this man. I don't want to prove this man wrong. I want to see this man come to all the truth of Yah and know what it is to walk in the fullness and the fullness of the fruit of the Spirit and the fruit of Yehovah's Word. And I don't need to be right. Yah needs to be right. He needs to see that Yah is right. That's the only thing that matters. Amen? So, Mishpachah, I pray, show the mercy to those around you. Be merciful. Show them. Let Yehovah spread His mercy to those around you that are lost through you, so that He can pour His mercy out on you too. Yah had mercy on me yesterday, Mishpachah, because I almost ended up killed yesterday. I got done with my route, and I'm heading back to the office, and I'm on the side street, and there's a couple streets that dead end on the street I'm on. This guy is doing 100 miles an hour easily in a 25 mile an hour zone. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know why he was driving this way. But as I'm catching him out of the corner of my eye, he starts locking him up. I kid you not. He laid rubber down from locking up his brakes for a full half of a football field. And if I hadn't seen it and stopped, I stopped just in time, and he went sliding right in front of my car. If I'd have been a second faster, wham, he'd have T-boned me. And I'd have either been really hurting in the hospital or he could have killed me. Full-size Buick, and he's hauling, man. And it was everything to keep that he stopped this far from going through a chain link fence, over a ridge, and into the highway. If he had never touched his brakes, he'd have went right through it and right on into highway, and it'd have been a disaster. But he missed me by inches. Yah had mercy on me, Mishpachah. And I'll tell you something, man, it spoke to me so much. Yeah, how many times does Yah show us mercy? How many times does He have mercy and spare our life? And Mishpachah, I tell you something, when we show love and mercy to those who don't know, we are being used by Yah to spare their life. I didn't spare his life. I don't spare nobody's life, but if Yah will use me as a tool to show mercy to somebody for them to have their life spared, then hallelujah, man, use me, Abba. Please. Be that same way, Mishpachah, because above all else, no matter how much we teach the commandments, if we don't have love, peace, and joy to go at the top of the list with it, then we are nothing. And if we don't show love, then we are banging cymbals and we are nothing. We are wasting our time. We are failing. Because teaching people has to come with love. To reach people of the truth of Yehovah has to come with love. To reach people, to show them what Yah is all about, what His Torah, His commandments, His Moedim, His feast, everything, His Shabbat, and how awesome and amazing it is. The only way we're going to show it is with love, not with a stick and beat them over the head. That is not love. That's not mercy. That's not compassion. And not everybody is going to come to the truth the way maybe you did or I did or whatever. Some people, they're a little thicker headed and it takes a little more work. So do the work. Don't be lazy. Be merciful and do the work. And trust Yah. Let Yah deliver them, because you never will. I never will. Let us show that mercy, Mishpachah. Let us show them what it is and the great, beautiful, beautiful life it is to walk in all of Yehovah's word, in His Torah, in His commandments, in His Moedim. Everything from Genesis to Revelation, and what it means to have that free gift of salvation and everything that leads to it. Amen. So Mishpachah, I hope you have an amazing and beautiful day today. May the love and mercy of Yehovah shine and radiate from you in all that you say and do, and all of how you talk and handle everything that you put your hand to do. May you be an example of Messiah Yeshua. Amen. I love you, Mishpachah. More importantly, Yah loves you. May you be blessed. And may Yah bless the fruit of your works. Shalom, shalom.